So now we're moving to problem 19. And again, we have a formula. We've got to use it to solve for the value of the missing variable. Let's take a look at our formula. It is S equals R omega times T. What does this mean? Well, S is the amount of distance moved. Okay, so that is how far a point has moved around the circle. And so this is the distance is equal to the radius, that's our R, times our old friend omega, which is angular velocity, times time. So then how does this work? How does this formula give us the right answer? Well, we already know from previous work that the angular velocity times the time gives us the total angle that has been traveled. Okay, so this is the amount of this is the angle per unit time, times time gives us the total angle. And when we multiply the total angle by the radius, we get the arc length, or the distance. So the formula makes sense. So let's take a look at 19. We're given R is 6 centimeters, omega is pi, excuse me, radians per second. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold, as you probably have all noticed. Time, t, is equal to 9 seconds. So we're given 3 of the 4 variable values that we need. We just need to multiply these together to get the distance. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got S equals 6 centimeters times an angular velocity of pi over 3 radians per second times 9 seconds. Okay, and the seconds cancels out, and we're left with, the radians is sort of a built-in unit, so we're left with basically centimeters as the distance, and we've got 6 times pi over 3, we can cancel the 6 into this to give us a 2, and 9 times 2 pi is 18 pi. So the distance here is going to be 18 pi centimeters. And that is going to be the answer for number 19. And then we're given next question is number 21. Again, the same formula needs to be used. So for number 21, we still have S equals R times omega times time. We're given the distance this time that was traveled was 6 pi centimeters. The radius is 2 centimeters, and the angular velocity is pi over 4 radians per second. Okay, so what is the missing value here? The missing variable is t. We have to solve for time. So how can we modify this equation to solve for time? Well, we can divide both sides of the equation. We have S equals RWT. We can divide both sides of the equation by RW, right? And that cancels out here, and we end up with time is equal to S over R. It's really omega, not W, but it kind of looks like W, so sometimes I say W. So let's go ahead and plug this in. T equals S over R times omega. S is 6 pi centimeters. Well, we know the units is going to be seconds, so let's just simplify things and leave the units out, because that's the only time unit we've got. So we've got S, 6 pi, divided by R, which is 2 centimeters, times omega, which is pi over 4. So this is the complex fraction we have to simplify. And let's work on the numerator 6 pi, the denominator is 2 times pi over 4. So let's go ahead and simplify that denominator. That would be pi over 2. Okay, so we've got 6 pi divided by pi over 2, which is the same thing as 6 pi times 2 over pi. Okay, so again, keep, change, flip, and that gives us 12. And we said the units were second. So we got our answer is 12 seconds.